Liverpool have returned to training at the AXA Training Centre following their exhilarating 3-2 Champions League victory over Atletico Madrid at Anfield. Spirits were high as the squad regrouped under manager Arne Slot, with momentum clearly on their side after Virgil van Dijk's towering stoppage-time header sealed a dramatic win. The focus now shifts quickly to the Premier League, and the intensity on the training ground reflected that. New striker Alexander Isak, who made his debut against Atletico, was back on the pitch after recovering from a minor ankle scare sustained during the match. The Swedish international looked sharp as he worked closely with Mohamed Salah during attacking drills, showing early signs of chemistry with Liverpool's talisman. Salah, fresh off a key performance, appeared energised as he continues to lead by example in Slot's evolving system. Ryan Gravenberch was heavily involved in midfield-focused sessions, dictating tempo and linking up well with Alexis Mac Allister, who didn't feature in the midweek clash, but was sharp and lively in training. Also spotted was Jeremie Frimpong, whose pace and attacking runs down the right flank gave defenders plenty to think about. Curtis Jones was the most notable absentee, still working his way back from injury. On the other hand, promising youngster Jayden Danns once again trained with the senior squad, underlining Slot's willingness to blend youth with experience. With the squad gradually approaching full strength and competition for places heating up, Liverpool are aiming to stay sharp across all competitions.
A way to win this Champions League game. You have needed late winners in every single game so far this season, and you've got them. What does that say about your team?
Now, if you want to beat a team like Atletico, which is known and has an unbelievable mentality, you have to beat them with their weapon as well, and that is mentality. And I think that's what we showed again today, that we can beat them also by mentality. But I think we should have made it easier for ourselves. At 2-0 first half, we got more than a few chances to make the third. At 2-1 second half, we hit the post. We were so close a few times. But yeah, if the margin is only one goal, something can always happen, and it happened. Maybe a little bit deflected, I'm not sure, but second ball went in. But then again, we showed the mentality, because I think in that 10 minutes that still had to be played, we were pushing, and in the end we scored a set-piece goal.
The fans here at Liverpool have finally seen the long-awaited debut of Alexander Isak, a standing ovation for him when he came off. Happy with what you saw?
Yeah, particularly because I think in the 60 minutes he played, he seemed to be quite fit to me. So it wasn't as if after 10 minutes he was already very tired. He could just play at this level quite well after only 1 or 2 weeks of team sessions. So that was the most positive thing, and that he can play football and that he's a joy to watch. And yeah, that is not a surprise to me. But he was maybe fitter than I expected. But again, let the fans don't get the hopes up too high, because it's good that he had his first 90 minutes, but we play 3 times a week, and that's a bit too much for him still.
So a start for him on Saturday in the derby?
Could be, but again, it could never be a 90-minute for him. So that is what we all have to understand, and people sometimes say, why is that not possible? The problem is you need to make sure players are prepared for their program, and therefore you need to train with them. And that is at this moment of time not possible, but I'm really happy that he could start today. That's why we didn't play him against Burnley. And he was good today, and when Hugo came in, he was a big threat also. So it's we have 2 great number 9s, and we're going to use them, both of them, throughout the whole period that they're here, but definitely now in the start.
Liverpool with a dramatic win over Atletico Madrid, much to your relief, Jamie.
Yeah, it was relief, because I always feel like you're waiting for Liverpool to win, but put in like a champion performance like we've seen PSG do tonight. And I thought it was going to be tonight 2-0 up after, 6 or 7 minutes. Atletico Madrid, we know we're a big team, big manager, but they've got a lot of injuries. I think half the team's missing as well. So I thought it was going to be a comfortable game for Liverpool to go and win 3 or 4-0. And it didn't prove to be the case. So yes, delighted Liverpool won, but still a little nagging worry at the back of my mind that something doesn't feel quite right at the moment. Liverpool have been looking dangerous from set pieces. I think Konate should have scored just beforehand, actually. But Van Dijk, I always have this feeling when he wants to score, he can from a set piece. I actually think he should get more, because he's so dominant in the air. But he's just, he's one of the best players, not centre-backs, one of the best players I've seen He is. He almost goes up and he knows he's going to score. The team need it, so I'm going to score.
Where does he rank for you in the Liverpool, hierarchy in terms of like, I mean, like everybody? Where does he rank?
Yeah, well, I don't like describing Van Dijk as a centre back, as in like, oh, he's the best centre back, or a Tim or a Tim. At Liverpool, a lot of people get called legends because they've won the league or they've won a Champions League. There's lots of them. But if you want to differentiate between I'd call them giants of the club, and I'm talking like Stevie, Kenny Dalglish, Souness, Alan Hansen, John Barnes, like the top sort of 7 or 8 players. Mo Salah. Oh, without a doubt. Okay. He's right in the middle of the greatest players to ever play for Liverpool. Not one of the greatest centre-backs, one of the greatest players.
Anyway, interesting thing to talk about in Liverpool's performances. Alexander Isak making his debut. We finally got to see him in the Liverpool shirt.
You know what?
Do you think?
He didn't score, but he had plenty of like lovely touches when the ball comes into him. You see the way he turns there. He's really clever. I think Thierry knows this better than anyone. He's not just a goal scorer, so that's why he's different to Haaland. Haaland's all about goals. He's doing things, turning, getting on the ball. He's a fantastic player, not just a great goal scorer, Thierry.
The thing is, what Isak has, and some of the strikers obviously don't have or didn't have, is that, when he played at Dortmund, as I said, that he was on the wing.
Yeah.
So, yes, we all know he preferred to play as a 9, but being in the middle or going into the channel, it doesn't look like he's in a situation where he doesn't know what he needs to do. I always said for the best development of a player, if you can, playing a lot of position will always help. If you can, obviously.